Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing a book that has had a profound impact on my life, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. If you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend it. In this video, we're going to be covering some of the key takeaways from each chapter, and I'll also be sharing my personal insights and experiences. Chapter 1, You Are Not Your Mind. In the first chapter of The Power of Now, Tolle emphasizes the importance of understanding that you are not your mind. Our minds are constantly racing, and this can cause us to feel overwhelmed and stressed. Tolle argues that we must learn to separate ourselves from our thoughts and emotions in order to find inner peace. He suggests that we should become aware of our thoughts and observe them without judgment, rather than getting caught up in them. One of the most profound realizations I had while reading this chapter was the fact that we are not our thoughts. For the longest time, I believed that my thoughts defined me and that I had no control over them. But Tolle's teachings helped me to see that I am separate from my thoughts and that I have the power to choose which thoughts to engage with. Chapter 2, Consciousness, The Way Out of Pain. In the second chapter, Tolle introduces the concept of consciousness and explains how it can help us find our way out of pain and suffering. He suggests that by becoming more aware of our thoughts and emotions, we can connect with our true selves and find inner peace. Tolle argues that most of us are living our lives on autopilot, going through the motions without really being present. He suggests that by bringing our awareness into the present moment, we can tap into a deeper sense of consciousness and become more attuned to our inner selves. Reading this chapter was a real eye-opener for me. I realized that I had been living my life on autopilot, and that I had been missing out on so much by not being fully present. By practicing mindfulness and bringing my awareness into the present moment, I've been able to connect with my inner self and find a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. Chapter 3, Moving Deeper into the Now. In this chapter, Tolle encourages us to focus our attention on the present moment, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. He argues that by living in the now, we can find true fulfillment and happiness. Tolle suggests that the present moment is all we ever have, and that by fully immersing ourselves in it, we can experience a profound sense of joy and peace. He suggests that we can do this by simply paying attention to our surroundings, our breath, or our body sensations. I found this chapter to be particularly helpful in my own life. I've always been a worrier, constantly stressing about the future or ruminating on the past. But Tolle's teachings helped me to see that by focusing on the present moment, I can let go of my worries and find peace in the here and now. Chapter 4, Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now. In this chapter, Tolle discusses the various strategies our minds use to avoid being in the present moment, such as overthinking, worrying, and dwelling on the past. He argues that these strategies only serve to create more suffering and that we must learn to recognize and overcome them. Tolle suggests that we can do this by becoming more aware of our thought patterns and learning to observe them without judgment. He also suggests that we can practice mindfulness by paying attention to our breath, our body sensations, or our surroundings. Reading this chapter helped me to see how much time and energy I was wasting by dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. By becoming more aware of my thought patterns and practicing mindfulness, I've been able to let go of these unhelpful strategies and find more peace in the present moment. Chapter 5, The State of Presence. In this chapter, Tola explains the concept of presence and how it can help us find inner peace and happiness. He suggests that presence is a state of being where we are fully immersed in the present moment, free from the distractions of our thoughts and emotions. Tola argues that by cultivating presence, we can tap into a deeper sense of awareness and connect with our true selves. He suggests that we can do this by practicing mindfulness, meditation, or other techniques that help us become more present. Reading this chapter was a real turning point for me. I realized that I had been living my life on autopilot, and that I had been missing out on so much by not being fully present. By practicing mindfulness and cultivating presence, I've been able to connect with my inner self and find a greater sense of peace and fulfillment. Chapter 6: The Inner Body. In this chapter, Tola encourages us to connect with our inner bodies and use them as a tool for mindfulness and presence. He suggests that by paying attention to our bodily sensations, we can become more aware of the present moment and connect with our true selves. Tola argues that our inner bodies are a gateway to our inner selves, and that by cultivating this connection, we can tap into a deeper sense of consciousness and find inner peace. Reading this chapter helped me to see the importance of connecting with my inner body and using it as a tool for mindfulness and presence. By paying attention to my bodily sensations, I've been able to become more present and connect with my true self on a deeper level. So there you have it, a brief overview of some of the key takeaways from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I hope that this video has been helpful for you, and that it has inspired you to pick up a copy of this incredible book. Remember, the present moment is all we ever have, so let's make the most of it and find true peace and fulfillment in our lives. I hope today will be a better day than yesterday.